As we move further into 2026, our love for Range Rover Sports, and it would certainly appear for many of yourselves as well, your love for these cars shows no sign of letting up. This one is a gorgeous combination, of course, Santorini black with those complementary black wheels as well, and that full heated, in fact heated front and rear seats, finished in ivory leather with aluminium trim. It's a fantastic looking car in a fantastic looking spec, and as we've said many times, these were of course very expensive cars when they were new. In the case of this one being a 2017, much in a similar way to a recent 2017 example, this has one very, very nice advantage. Being that slightly newer version of the facelift era, its road tax is even cheaper again. And even before 2017, they were already cheaper to tax than the cars which came before. This example is almost laughable in terms of road tax for a large 4x4, certainly a luxury one, at £195 a year. To return to the point of pricing though, of course, it's obvious why people would love these so much, because what was a £60,000+ car when new, certainly of course here in a HSE dynamic form, is now quite literally under £20,000. For those curious, of course that does still include the option of low deposit financing if you did want to make use of it as well, and for a car which has barely kissed 78,000 miles since 2017, that is phenomenal value. To come back around to that point of road tax and efficiency, part of the reason for that is of course the engine. In other words, the best-selling engine we've actually found for these vehicles, the 3-litre SD V6. On the one hand, it's a proper, powerful, fantastic towing capacity engine for a large 4x4, but being a HSE dynamic, of course, one of the main things you would want is a fantastic level of trim, kit, accessories, and ease of life goodies. And that it definitely has. In addition to, as we mentioned earlier on, the heated front and rear seats, it also comes with a panoramic roof and electric blind, naturally reverse parking camera, and sensors front and rear as well. It has Bluetooth streaming, built-in navigation, of course cruise control, xenon headlights with signature LED day runners, dual zone climate control in addition to the heated seats, power opening and closing tailgate, adaptive dynamics, electronic air suspension, as these are all fitted with, and it's part of the reason why they're so good to drive in sport or normal Range Rover form. And again, as we've mentioned a few times recently, these are actual competent, capable off-roaders as well when you want them to be. They're not just posers cars, they're not just luxury cars, because it does have that dual speed, high and low ratio transfer box, as well as torque vectoring as well. If you do intend to, as most people do, use it as a family car, perhaps a school runner or a holiday vehicle, of course the seats have Isofix attachments as well for child seats. So across the board, it's the kind of car where you have the efficiency, the road tax, the practicality of something much smaller, but you get to still have the space, the size, the road presence, the luxury, the badge panache, everything on top of that all rolled into one, and again for under £20,000. The real cherry on the cake though is, to go back to the point of road tax and efficiency, their fuel economy. Now granted, fuel economy is not exactly the first thing that would come to mind about a Range Rover or a Range Rover Sport, but that's one of the reasons why these are so good. This car can average up to 40 miles to the gallon. It's even higher on the motorway, as high as 44, which is shockingly good as a long distance car. And when you pair that with cruise control, the fantastic sound system, and air ride suspension, name a better car for a long distance drive. They are wonderful to drive and far more practical and far more efficient than you would ever realistically expect them to be. There is though, of course, one thing which we haven't mentioned: its history. Is the history good enough to match the great price and the great look? Absolutely, because it has a full main agent and specialist history. In fact, it was most recently serviced, including its cam belt having already been done 300 miles ago. In other words, this car is as good as it looks. So of course, if you have already been considering one of these, and of course you could reach out regarding it via the email address shown right here on screen, or you could give us a call on 01749 871 155, or of course on our mobile number of 07482 267 439.